How are we doing, guys? And it's finished. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. And any hope, any kind of optimism that we were going to be in a title race and that Liverpool had slipped up and opened the door for us have been distinguished within the space of one game. And we only have ourselves to blame. West Ham were the better side. West Ham came with a game plan. And West Ham executed that game plan perfectly. And we were completely and utterly shit. We were void of ideas. We had a lack of penetration. There was just no impetus, no guidance, no urgency, nothing. Shambles. An absolute shambles of a performance. And at the end of the day, the fact that we're in the midst of what we would say is a title race, and we've got to rely on a 17-year-old and a midfielder to play as a number 9 because of the neglect within the squad during the January transfer window. It's got worse as soon as the January transfer window closes, with the likes of Havertz and Martinelli getting injured as well. And nobody could have predicted that. But at the end of the day, we were already short and we were already running people into the ground at that point. On one hand, I can understand not just wanting to fill the squad with anybody and being stuck with them, because a prime example is Raheem Sterling. But given the situation we were in, given the circumstances, I felt that it was needs must. It wasn't a case where we only had one injury and it's like, well, you know, when Saka comes back, we've still, you know, it was Jesus, it was Saka, and it was just continuation, and then it just got compounded by Martinelli and then Havertz, and you're just sitting there and thinking, who on earth behind the scenes has not stepped forward? Who is to blame? Are we going to blame the manager? Are we going to blame the people behind the scenes? Richard Garlick, Tim Lewis, whoever this CEO is. And that's one of the big problems as well. We haven't replaced Edu. We've gone into a window with it all in the air. We don't know what's what. So whoever the director of football is, they're sitting there and thinking to themselves, well, you know, do we want to really get him to do things and navigate and negotiate transfers? That it's just been a mess. It's a shambles. And that performance today was just toothless. And the whole team was spineless. It's that simple. I can sit here and big up the team when they do things right. I can sit there and be objective, and I can sit there and criticise when we played absolute shit. We deserve nothing. The first half performance, again, was just lackluster. It's like they're all in handcuffs. It's like they're not allowed to go anywhere. So in that sense, you're going to have to blame the manager, because he's the one that puts the restrictions on them, that they've got to play so rigidly and set within their positions. And in one sense, it's great because it works sometimes and defensively. But it works when you've got the attacking players that we normally have, like your Bukayo Sakas, etc. But when you haven't, what do you expect? You've got to let them off the reins a little bit, because you've got to let them express themselves, and they've not been able to, and it's showing within our performances. It is just toothless. Martin Odegaard, there needs to be some serious questions asked about this guy, about his captaincy and what he actually brings in terms of leadership. Now, I know it's very easy to sit and say that Declan Rice is more of a leader, but today, for example, Declan Rice looked like he still played for West Ham. And it's the second time in a row at the Emirates that he's just looked completely off it against his former club. I don't know whether it's the emotion of the day and former teammates, the fans, whatever it might be. It's just not working. He was rightfully hooked because he was that poor. But at the end of the day, there was other players that could have and should have been hooked. Odegaard, if we had the players available, I'd have hooked him, because he's been terrible. And his performance, again, was terrible. You know, it didn't work today with Moreno as the number 9. I said in my preview I wouldn't have started him in this game. I felt it was the wrong game. It was the wrong kind of setup. I said how West Ham were going to play. You know, I'm not the manager. I'm not the one getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, a year, a month, whatever it might be. But yet I still know and can see what is right in front of me. I know how West Ham are going to set up. You know, West Ham are a side that's won 1 in their last 7, and they've not kept a single clean sheet since Graham Potter's been in charge. But I also know that Graham Potter loves managing against Arsenal, and that can go right back to his days when he was an Östersund manager. So I'm sitting there and thinking, what are you actually doing? What is it? Now, I haven't looked for the press conference after. I've not listened to what Mikel's had to say. I've not heard what the players have had to say. Because, to put it quite bluntly, I couldn't give a fuck what they've got to say. I'm bored shitless of listening to excuses. I'm bored of it. It's the same. It's the same. We have thrown away an opportunity this season to win the league against a team that's not Man City. For as good as Liverpool have been, you know, they're not Man City. And it should be us going for the title. But should be doesn't give you a divine right to win things, you know. And we've neglected the squad. From the summer window to the January window. And all of it is coming home to roost right now. It's that simple. And I'm angry and I'm disappointed and I'm deflated and I'm just really, really pissed off by all of it, to be honest with you. And it's, you know, as I've got older, you try and be a little bit more pragmatic, shall we say, in terms of your feedback on games and the criticism and everything else. And you want to see the best and you want to be the best and you want to give opportunities and you want to give chances and everything. And it's all great being, you know, positive and feeling optimistic. But when you keep getting kicked in the teeth in this way, in the way the players are playing and the way that the manager's setting the players up to play right now, it's not right. It's just not right. It's just poor. It's toothless. It's spineless. It's weak. It's feeble. It's everything. And, you know, we go down to 10 men. Another red card, the 5th. And I can't even say a word. It's a red card all day long. It's another professional foul on the halfway line. Referee, I was shocked he gave a yellow initially. But as soon as I knew they reviewed it and I looked at it, I went, oh, no, he's gone. He's gone. That's a clear red card all day long. So at the end of the day, you know, Miles Lewis-Skelly, why was he on the bench anyway? He shouldn't have changed that. Calafiori had an absolute stinker and was getting pulled all over the place by Wan-Bissaka. And it's just needless things like that. Why change it? There was no need to have changed that. And I said this in my preview before the game that we've had a week's rest. There was no need to change what was working in that sense. It was just the forward line. I didn't really feel this was the game for that type of number 9 and someone who isn't experienced as a number 9 in Moreno. So, yeah. What's the point in going mad? What's the point in going mad? What's the point in shouting and hollering and screaming and effing and blinding and everything else when at the end of the day it doesn't do anything? We've blown it. We've thrown it away. We've just continually done it all season. As soon as Liverpool drop points, we drop points. It's just like, you know, the Chuckle Brothers, isn't it? It's like to me, to you, to me, to you, to me, to you. And it's just, what more do you want me to say? It's just pathetic. Pathetic. So, yeah, West Ham, they win. They deserve it. And I can't really say much more than that, to be honest with you. It's just spineless, toothless, weak, feeble. What more do you want me to say? So hit the like button, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.